welcome to another episode of PDR Tool Time. This is episode 236. Is that right? I think so.
Let's hope so.
And we got an action-packed episode for you today. We got a special guest for you today, and we've got Eric Graves. Garvis, sorry.
We just had a 5-minute conversation on how to pronounce his name, and you pronounced it wrong.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. Yeah, that's the way Siri says it. Sorry.
Has the laughing gas not worn off yet there on you?
Yeah, I had a little dental work, so half my face is numb right now. So we got an action-packed show about Mobile Tech RX is releasing their calendar feature. So we're really excited that you're coming on, Eric. And we got Hudson on, and myself, Daniel Grom, and Vince will be chiming in shortly. He's on another call for school. And then we just got an action-packed show. Let's go. Let's get into it.
All right. So let's get this straight to the point. Let's get that way Mr. Eric doesn't have to wait any longer today. Eric,
yeah, let's get right to it.
What is this? You're sharing a screen with us right now, and I'm looking at a calendar. What do we got going on here?
So what you're looking at is the new beta version of our calendar feature. So this is going to be our scheduling, in-app scheduling feature. It's coming out next week. So it just kind of depends on when Apple, approves the app, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. By the time this show airs on a podcast, it may be the day you're listening to it. So
you are correct.
So that might be perfect timing.
Boom. So if you're listening to this right now, it might not. This new update might be there as we speak, as you listen. So Eric, what do we got? So I'm looking at some different colored tabs here and all kinds of things. So
essentially what you're going to have is over here on the sidebar menu, you've got a new option for scheduling. And as you jump into that, you're going to have 3 different views. You've got a view of your month. You've got a day view. And we've got an agenda view.
Oh, wow. Okay. So the agenda view looks like a bunch of sticky notes on there with a bunch of details on them, what the year, make, and model of the vehicle is, what the services are they're in for, time. So it looks like a virtual sticky note. That looks great.
Now, are we able to jump, like, okay, just had a customer come in, I do an estimate, and then convert that estimate into the calendar, or how does that work?
So right now, it's kind of opposite of what you described. So if you've got something on the calendar, you can convert that into an event, into a document. So you can, and I'll do an example of that here in a second for anybody watching, but for anybody listening, yeah, you can start an event with the customer info, the vehicle info, the services you're going to do, and then you can turn that into an estimate or into a work order.
So we're going to post this on our YouTube page so you guys can follow along what we're saying.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of the stuff that's in here is going to be different now than it will be 6 months from now. So I would say 6 months from now, you probably will be able to go the other way and turn a estimate or a client or something like that into an event on the calendar. So we'll be building.
It's 2020. You should be able to go both ways.
Yeah, I know.
But we were talking to Eric before this, and what he was saying that this is, you're kind of testing the waters with this, right? You're going to put it out, but you're kind of putting it almost like a calendar light version. You're not going to ramp it up with a bunch of crazy features. You're going to be putting it out where it's fully functional, but you're not going to add like the crazy features until you know that people are really going to want them. Or what was that?
Yeah, I mean, this version we're putting out now is great, and there's a lot of good functionality in it. It's a strong calendar. With that being said, there's a ton of bells and whistles that you could put into a calendar and integrations, and we have a lot of really neat ideas. And so over time, we'll build those in. And the priority in which we do those, we want to wait and kind of rely on user feedback. So, rather than waiting another 2-3 months to release a super full-blown, feature-rich calendar, we wanted to get this out there now. There's a lot of people that will love it just as is. And then over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months, we'll start adding to it based on what we kind of find is most important. And depends how often, Daniel texts me and says that he wants something in there. So
I've been wanting this forever, and it's one of the things that I miss the most, because I hate having to go into another app and having put in information, extra information.
All right, let's see, Dan. Let's get Eric to give us a step by step of what it looks like. So start us at step 1 and get us to the end.
Yeah, so let's kind of just start with probably the most common view. You're just kind of taking a look at your month here. So we try to make it visual, so you're going to notice different colors on there. And that's based on, if you're a multi-user company and you wanted to see who's going to be where or what jobs are coming in and who you're expecting to do those, they'll be color coordinated. So every single technician is going to have their own color. So based on the permissions that you have, they may only be able to see their calendar or possibly the calendar of anybody that they're working with. Or if you're an admin, you're going to have access to kind of see all schedules, or you can just drill down and see one particular schedule if you want. So let me do this. Let me just kind of jump in here and create an event.
Okay.
And keep in mind, I'm using a beta version, so there may be a couple slight tweaks here and there that will kind of get cleaned up. So just prepping you in advance if anything funky happens. So what I'm going to do here is just we're going to say we got an event for Saturday. I'm going to say it's from 8 to 9. Here we can select a client that it's going to be for, or we have the option to create a new one.
Okay.
And then you can put in an address if you want. One of the tweaks we're going to have is loading up your shop address and loading up the client's address if you have it saved. And if you don't, then we're going to load the locations near you, or if you start typing something in, it'll auto-populate just pulling off of Google Maps.
Why is the client's address important?
So if you know you're going to be doing it mobily.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
For those people that don't have awesome shops.
Yeah, Daniel, that's a weird question. I'm like, oh, that's perfect because I'm mobile.
Yeah. No, my bad. Sorry.
Hey, here's a quick question, Eric. So since it's plugged into Google Maps in that calendar, whenever it comes time to go to that location, is that a hyperlink to Google Maps so I can click the address and it'll open up my Maps app?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Same with the phone number.
That's valuable, huh?
Okay. So for anyone that doesn't understand, a little bit of techie talk there is once you input on the calendar inside MultiTech RX, there will be a link to the address. So as soon as you click that link inside MultiTech RX, it's going to open up your Maps app and give you directions. So if you are a mobile business, that is huge.
That's big. Yeah.
All right, so this is where it gets kind of cool. As so far it's been a pretty standard calendar, but now what we can do is we can start attaching vehicles to it.
Okay.
So we know what vehicle we're going to do. We can start designating what services we're going to do. So maybe this is a Hell car. Maybe it's a Hell car that also is going to get a detail done, or it's going to get the windows tinted. So you can start designating what it is if you do offer more than just PDR.
Yeah, let's see. Can you go back to that, Eric?
Yeah.
So if you're a shop that has multiple things, just so you guys know, the tabs I'm looking at right now, there's PDR, Hell, Precedent, Paint, Wheels, Glass, Tint, Parts, Interior, Detail, and PPF. So you got a whole slew. So if you're a multi-service shop, this is even better.
That's fantastic.
And then what we can also do is if we want to, assign this to somebody, we can. So if you don't fill this out, it'll automatically assume that, you own this event and you're going to do it, whoever in your company creates it. Otherwise, if you specifically want to say that it's going to be, Dennis that's doing this repair, or, Dennis and Henry and Jared, you can select one or multiple people that are going to end up touching this car.
Okay.
And that way it'll show up, color coded who the technicians are that are going to work on it. And it'll also make sure that, everyone's just seeing the calendars that they're supposed to see.
Now, I'm gonna give a bit of critique / feedback. Is I do feel that it's a bit backwards. for me personally, because typically I'm giving an estimate first, and then once I've given an estimate, they approve the price, and then we set a calendar. So, but you said that's going to be available in the future. But for me, like in the way I run my business personally, it's like, yeah, it's going to be, $435.38. And they're like, okay, that sounds great. I'm like, okay, let's schedule it.
Yep.
For
Yeah,
right now,
that makes-
but the way this is working, it shows like, hey, when are you available? Oh, you're available Wednesday? Cool. Okay. Well, now that we know when you're available, let's give you an estimate. Is that the route you would have to go with this right now?
Right now for you would go ahead and go in there and create an estimate. And if the customer says they want it done, then you would have to go into the calendar and start the event. Your client will already be there as a choice to choose, but you would have to reselect the year, make, and model. So you're just at a high level putting the stuff in here.
Okay. Can I take an estimate I've created and put it into the calendar?
Not yet. So that's one of those things that Daniel had mentioned that kind of like going two-way. So you can take this event and create an estimate out of it. But
Okay.
in this first version, you won't be able to take an estimate and turn an event to it, but that you definitely will be able to do. That was part of our initial design, and we kind of just cut it to get it out sooner, but that for sure is queued up to be added in the near future.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Sorry for.
No,
it's a good question.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So go ahead. So we have the text, we have the text assigned, and we have the services assigned, and it's the vehicle.
Yeah, so for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and just save this real quick. Here's where it also prompts you, if you want to create an estimate or a work order out of this, you can. I'm just gonna say skip. All right, so that throws it on here. It's this event right here on Saturday that has the 3 colors of the text, tells me what car it is and what services I'll be doing.
Great. And you're in
And
the month.
Now,
tab.
click on that and go to the day view.
so if I click on it, it's just going to take me straight in to edit the event. But let me show you what the day view looks like. So if I go over here and select Saturday, this is a sliding scale of throughout the day to see when stuff is coming in and when it should be complete. So this one I happen to have set up from 8 to 9.
So, okay, let me ask you this. So depending on the price, is it going to block out X amount of time?
No, it's not set up to automatically set up the time, so you would have to do that. So you can choose the time that you want to block it off for, but it's not going to automatically do that for you. But that's a great idea to have it to where, especially if you're going from an estimate to an event, if you could have it set up based on the estimate amount or,
because the calendar I use now, I had to do that on the back end, and I set up, depending on the price, it blocks out a certain amount of time. Now, what I would like actually is it to be twofold in that, let's say I do an estimate for $400, and I know that's going to take, I would normally block out 4 hours for that. That's what I would tell a customer, 4 hours for that $400 dent. But I know in reality, it's going to take me 2 hours. And I would like the customer to see 4 hours is blocked out. It's going to take 4 hours. That way I have plenty of time. I'm not rushing, but on my calendar that I see, I block out 2 hours. That way.
Well, just make a note. Can you make a note in the events? Can you make a note about the vehicle?
Well, let me get to you why I want to do that. So mentally, when I look at my calendar for the week, I see time that's blocked out. And if I see the day is blocked out, I won't schedule another dent. And the reality is the more cars I can book in a day, the more money I can make. And there's the actual time and what I tell a customer, which are 2 different things. And I want to optimize my calendar to get as many cars as I can get done in a day. And that's the hardest part about a calendar, is being able to customize it to be able to do that kind of a thing.
How do you tell your customer now how long it's going to take? By email, text, or?
Usually when I'm booking it, right now the calendar I use, I have set times for the dollar amount that I figured. That gives me plenty of room. You know, it's overshooting what it actually is going to take me. So, because I get
very
interrupted.
unique problem.
Yeah, this is really a shop guy. This is really a shop problem.
No, this is a Daniel Grom problem.
Yeah, but as guys get into shops, you're going to want to optimize how much money you make in a day.
True. I hear what you're saying. I think if you just put some notes on it, you could. So, Eric, let's get back to this. To this thing. So you have it set up, and it's to explain, if you're just listening on the thing, the difference between the calendar view and the day view. If you open your phone right now, if you have an iPhone and you go to your calendar app and you click today, you have a vertical linear.
It's like your normal calendars that you use on your phone.
Yeah, but instead of it being top to bottom, it's left to right. So, anyways, Eric.
So one of the things that's really great about this is these auto send alerts you can set up. So as I'm creating this event, I'm able to have it to where it automatically sends either a text or an email letting the customer know that event was scheduled. So that's optional if you want that automated.
That's huge.
And what you can do is you can even populate things like, you know, default, whatever their client name is, your company name, the date and time, your company phone number. You can have all this show in there and choose whether it's going to be sent by text or email. That's an alert that's sent as soon as you make that event. There's another alert called a reminder alert, and this is going to be sent. You choose whether it's, you know, immediately, 1 hour before, 1 day before, 2 weeks before. You can customize it. This will remind them that you've got something coming up, and you can do multiple. So you can do one for 1 hour before, and you can do another one for 1 day before if you'd like.
Okay, and I just saw a little peek of what of the other alerts that looks super interesting.
So
that's huge. And just to give you how that works for me, because that's something that I use all the time. When I switch to a calendar that does that, no shows are almost gone completely now because of those alerts.
Yeah, if you're doing any retail jobs, this should be tremendous benefit to getting a heads up if there's going to be a no-show in advance. So you can build out this to say, you know, I guess we kind of have it in our default. If you have a conflict, please call this number. You can make this say whatever you want.
That's great. Now, here's a question I have for you, Eric. Is this, are you able to do all this you can do it on your phone, iPad, and computer?
So if you are setting up the alerts, you can do this on any platform. But as far as the actual calendar itself, we've just got it in the app. So you're going to be phone, tablet, or Apple app. So we also have a Mobile Tech RX app on Apple products that you can use on your desktop.
Okay.
So that would work as well. But having it in your admin portal, that's coming soon. So that's not in there right now.
Okay, yeah, because I have an admin that's going to be taking all my phone calls and text messages. And if she could have it in front of her on her computer while she's talking to the customer and inputting all this on the computer, then that would be great.
Yep. That'll be coming. So in the meantime, she would either need to use the Apple desktop app or, pull out an iPad or something. But
okay.
Totally understand that that's super valuable to be able to, start viewing your appointments and entering them on an actual desktop. So that's coming.
Great. Thank you.
So the other auto send alert that we have is going to be a rate and review. So there's a trigger for this one. So all these auto sends have triggers that automatically send it. So the trigger here is if it's a retail customer and you mark an invoice as paid, then we're going to automatically send an alert by text or email, and you can have it say whatever you want. But the idea here is, hey, thanks for letting us, work on your car. click this link to leave us a Yelp review, or whatever, however you want to phrase it.
Yeah.
And you can put links in that.
Yeah, you can fill this out with, there's some default tags, but you can also customize this and just put in a link if you want, click here to.
I have that now, because that's available right now in the app already.
Correct. You can do that right now. The problem is the one, right now is just a customized alert that you have to manually send out every single time.
Right.
So you'll still have access to all of your custom alerts. You can create these for whatever use case you can think of, but the rate and review will be an auto send. If you turn
what's the other triggers? Are there more than just paying sets a trigger?
For the rate and review, we just have the logic set up for a retail invoice marked as paid.
Okay.
Now, outside of that, you can manually send it for whatever reason you want.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but I see some stuff below that. Hold on there, Eric. I see some stuff below that. It looks fantastic. I'm seeing the words like checkup. Yeah,
so these are ones that you can manually set up yourself right now. So you can call these whatever you want. But that's a great option to set up for your company, is like, hey, it's been a month since we worked on your car.
For like a detailer.
It's really great for a detailer. Yeah, it'd be hard. We're trying to find a good use case for PDR, because you're not doing repeat dents. But if you do happen to offer additional services, then the checkups are great.
But are those checkups automated?
The checkups are not.
Okay, so okay.
But that would be, that's something that if people want it, that wouldn't be hard for us to add. We've kind of putting in the logic here to start choosing, auto send and when you send it was kind of like the hard stuff. So if there's any other default alerts that we could add, it's relatively easy for us to kind of build on top of this now.
Awesome.
Like my tire shop, I'm kind of impressed with them, because when I bring my car in and they're working on it, and they send auto alerts saying, oh, okay, your car's been pulled into the bay and it's being worked on right now. And I was kind of impressed with that. It might annoy some people, but the status of what your car is, at right now. Or another one I get is, your car is almost ready. Be ready to pick up by 5 or something like that. And I think that's all automated somehow.
So you'll be happy to know that's exactly the path we're heading down, because there's a newer feature called a stages feature, we're calling it, that we're working on. So you'll be able to, this will be optional if you don't want to clutter up your account, you can just leave this off. But otherwise, if you want to use it, you can create these custom stages that a car could be in. So it could be, prepping for delivery. It could be, just started working on it, waiting on parts.
Like for hail companies, that's going to be really valuable, I think.
And then the techs can move it from stage to stage. And so we'll be able to automate alerts based on moving from a certain stage.
Yeah. Good.
That comes into play too with another feature we're going to be releasing soon, which is a client portal. So you could give access to your retail customer. You could give access to a body shop, an insurance company, whatever you want. And they will have access to the estimates you've created for them, the invoices you've created for them. They can filter, sort, and search and find these estimates. They can print and view them. They can approve estimates virtually. They can add PO numbers for you. There's going to be a bunch of cool stuff, pay invoices through the portal. There's a bunch of neat things that we're going to be able to integrate. So there's really exciting stuff that we're working on. And all of this stuff, the calendars and the alerts and the stages, it all is going to start tying together. Let me show you real quick here, if I'm in an event, how you can create a document. And once that document's created, it'll be tied to the event. And so you can kind of hyperlink back and forth. So if I'm in an event and I wanted to just jump to the estimate real quick, I can do that.
Okay, so the event is the actual time on the calendar. And then there's an estimate that will eventually be linked to that event. And then what is a document?
So a document, hey, I told you we're going to discover some sort of bug. So I just found one. So a document is going to be an estimate or a work order. So we're essentially saying, estimates, work orders, invoices, these are what we refer to as documents.
Okay. So anything on the left side of the screen is considered a document.
Specifically the estimates, work orders, invoices.
Yeah.
That's what we refer to as documents.
And
So
so
if you're in your admin portal, that they live under a documents section.
okay. And so the guys that are listening, whenever on Mobile Tech RX, when you swipe from the left side of the screen, you have all your, estimates, work orders, invoices, all those things you can click. That's where the scheduling selection will be available as well, right underneath the home button.
So let me show you one more thing that's going to be tied into the calendar. And we're going to use Charlie Molina's website for this. So this is currently being piloted. So I also wanted to ask any of you guys, anybody that may be watching or listening that wants to beta test this, we're actively looking for people that want to pilot to test this out. So this is going to allow you to link your website to your Mobile Tech RX account. And so the goal is to eventually merge in the calendar too, so that you could have somebody on your website clicking to get a quote, inputting their damage, and choosing what time they want to schedule an estimate or a repair, possibly even gathering a deposit or payment, and all of that flowing into your calendar and creating clients and documents for you in your Mobile Tech RX account. So that's kind of the direction we're heading. Currently, all you can do is just gather information and it'll create an estimate for you. So I'll do a little demo here on Charlie's website.
Okay.
So you can ingrain it into your website where, anything you might have, like get a quote or, click here to schedule, you can make that activate this bot, or you can just touch this request service.
So Eric, I currently offer this right now on my website. And what I do is I offer them to schedule an appointment for an estimate. But I also let them schedule, if I have an explanation, if the dent is smaller than a quarter, they can book the appointment to have the repair done as well. So get an estimate and then get a repair done, or just get an estimate. And then there's next option. If they've already had an estimate, they can schedule, and I've already given them the time they need to block out for that estimate. But just having them book for estimates alone has increased tenfold since COVID. It's been amazing how many people book their appointments just to get an estimate.
It's crazy. Daniel, while you've been talking about this, Eric has been filling in the auto fields. Basically, it's a virtual concierge. It's someone that holy crap, this is incredible. This is all automated. This doesn't require a single person. This is all done with AI.
It's all automated. And so it's prompting you to put in your info, what kind of car do you have? There's interactive, carousels here. It's going to ask you if it's hail damage or if it's a dent. And so if I choose a dent, it's going to ask me to select what area, and it's going to load all the different, panels. We even have motorcycle tank.
Nice.
So I'm going to choose left front door.
Okay.
It's going to ask me what's the size of the dent. So we've got a little carousel here that says,
holy moly.
Is it dollar bill size? Is it, soccer ball size?
Oh my God, dude, you just blew me away.
This is all automated.
Daniel?
It's all automated, yes.
Does yours do that, Daniel?
No. Vince has finally joined us. Hey, how you doing, Vince?
Hey, Vince.
Hola.
I love that Vince decided to join us whenever he had a chance to make fun of Daniel. That was his intro. All right, so that you've selected, please take or upload a photo. Okay, now here's the question. Is you go to gallery, can you take a photo right then and there?
Yeah, so it's going to be different based on the device you're using. So this, I'm using a desktop right now. And so when I do gallery, it's going to prompt me to load something here.
Mm-hmm.
I've got something queued up we can use. And if I'm doing it from my phone, then it'll prompt, I can take a picture on the fly too. So
Okay.
Dude, that is huge.
Okay, and you press continue.
So it'll ask me, do I have additional dents? So I could say continue, or I could add another dent. So I could go and say, I've got a second dent on my left front fender.
Okay.
And this one is medium size. And I
Okay.
can add a picture if I want.
Now, you consider medium size baseball size around 3 inches is what it's saying. Okay.
Correct.
All right. So
you can keep going. You can add as many dents to as many panels. You can attach as many photos as you want.
is there a way to, instead of it saying small, medium, large, is there a way to do inches, like just like a carousel of inches?
We could. We struggled with that one a little bit. So you notice on the carousel, we kind of show both. So we say quarter size, less than an inch. Baseball size, around 3 inches.
You know why they're Hudson? Because we've seen what your ruler size is for 8 inches. It's not accurate. It's not.
Oh gosh.
dear.
Okay. Do you have any notes for our guys? I'm watching real time Eric do this on Charlie Molina's site, and it's really blowing my mind. I've never ever had the desire to have anything automated.
So if you guys want to go and practice on Charlie Molina's site,
Charlie's
actually the PDR shop. Oh,
Can we write him a love note right now?
Yeah, he
it
doesn't
says,
know I'm doing this either. So
please provide your street address. Okay. Name, city. So if you're mobile, this is great.
If you're on your mobile device, you can share your location if you want to.
Holy crap. Okay.
Can you write in there, hey, Charlie, you're really sexy. Are you married?
Well, I did one of these for him last week. He didn't know I was playing around with it. And I uploaded a picture of a lady fixing a dent with a dildo. And he sent me back he emailed me back an estimate.
That's fantastic.
how much?
I love Charlie.
How much? How long?
Okay, so it asks you put in the address, and then the AI responded back, is this location? You said yes. And now what is?
And
Hey, Vince, you know who's going to love this, right?
Mr. Toledo.
Toledo loves automation.
all right, so here's what happens after you've done that. It's going to send the customer an email.
Okay.
And let me see if I can pull up.
Is it possible to have them send them a text?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is definitely something we'll be able to build off of and start customizing further. You'll be able to, this is what the customer's going to get, just something sort of confirmation that their request has been received.
Okay.
And we'll be able to start tweaking that to where, like, hey, would you rather get an email instead or a text? Well, that's something we will be able to do. And a lot of this stuff in here is customizable too. So like this color scheme was set up to try to match Charlie's website. We've got his logo on the chatbot.
Yeah.
If you offer mobile service and you have a shop, then when you get to this final stage where it asks for an address, it'll actually ask you, would you rather me come to you, or do you want to bring the car in? And it'll go down a decision tree based on that. If you offer,
is this going to be available
well,
next week?
What's that?
When is this available?
It's available right now.
For beta, right?
For this is, we've got about 3 people piloting this out.
Okay, now here's a
We
question.
need
How
more.
much extra a month would it be to have this feature?
So we partnered with a company for this, and as it stands right now, we have to pay for every lead that goes through. It's very affordable. It's like pennies, but it does cost, not pennies. I want to say it's like 30 cents, something like that. So for now, it's free. Anybody piloting it, it's going to be free. At some point, if people like it and we continue using the feature, we'll have to pass the cost on somewhat. What we'll probably do is just loop it into one of the existing plans. So anybody that's currently on, has access to comparative pricing. It'll most likely be something where you get 100 leads a month, or 50 leads a month, or 1,000. I mean, I don't know the number, but it'll probably just come with it.
Yeah, but that's worth it.
Would this be considered a plugin for your website?
Yeah, so the install instructions are copy and paste a line of code into your header.
Can it be used anywhere else besides a website, like say Yelp?
So yes, so this is where it gets really cool. So you can add this to your Facebook as well.
Okay.
Wow.
So you can have it set up on your Facebook to where if anybody Facebook messages your business, they go into this exact same flow.
Oh, that's
You can also have it set up on Google Business Manager to where anybody that finds you on Google, you can add an icon for messaging.
Yeah.
And instead of having to go to your website and discover everything, they can just click on message and they're thrown right into this flow also.
Right. And the reason why
This
I ask that is because I find a lot of customers that I had, they were not even getting to my website. You know, they were, am I breaking up?
Yes.
Sorry. They were not even going to my website. They were finding me through Google, Facebook, mainly Yelp. So if there was ways of finding or incorporating this into different aspects, that's wonderful.
So that's a good point. Like search engines are, at some point possibly going to kind of become people's websites. Like they're building out functionality to book stuff on there. There's, images and reviews and messaging and they have such good exposure. I mean, that's really where people are most likely finding you is on like Google Maps.
Right.
And so it's just a matter of time before, the websites are semi-obsolete because everyone's just doing everything from there. So we're trying to get ahead of that and hook you guys up straight into.
Dude, that's so big. It's huge.
So Eric, have you pretty much showed us everything, all the gadgets and gizmos?
Last thing about this ClaimBot sort of thing that we're talking about, this widget, is whenever you have an estimate loaded into Mobile Tech. So like this gives you the option of, you're going to get an email saying, click here to turn this lead into an estimate. When you do that, it'll auto create the estimate for you with all the dents inside of your price event module. So it'll go ahead and estimate out the dent. It'll show you which panels have dents on it, dent number 1, dent number 2, and the pictures will also be pre-labeled for you as well, along with the client info. So kind of all this is just sort of thrown in so that you can very quickly just email back an estimate to the customer.
You're dumb. You're dumb. You're so awesome. It's dumb.
Hey,
Okay.
Dan's a little bit outnumbered here tonight, huh? There's 3 people from Texas on here and poor little Daniel from California, huh?
Yeah.
Vince talks more about Texas than the real Texans.
I know. He's
now.
all proud of it now.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm from
I'm
Texas.
from Texas. Yeah.
But Eric, you're in Austin, right?
I'm in Austin, yes.
Yeah, that's not Texas anymore. We disowned you guys.
All right. So,
Okay.
Go ahead.
Is that it, Eric?
As far as scheduling in alerts, that's it. If you guys want a short preview of like things that are coming soon, I can talk
Yes.
about it.
No. We've already got enough. Let's save that for another episode.
Okay.
No.
This is so much info, Daniel. We gotta go move on.
I want
And
more.
Eric has to eat dinner.
Well,
No.
let me ask you this. Okay, one of the things that I'm supposed to ask you is ghosting the prices when you send an estimate, a hail estimate to insurance companies, and ghosting the count in on the panels. When is that going to be available?
You want to.
So you send off a hail estimate to the insurance company and they see that there's 30 dents on the hood. Then they take that 30 dents on the hood and plug it into their matrix, and they able to print out their price. And what guys want is that number to be ghosted or an option to be ghosted. So all they see is a price per panel.
You can do that right now. So here, I'll show you. So when you go into the hail panel, I mean, this would require you to kind of change it here, but you can do it. So like if you wanted to go say 16 to 30 dents, nickel size, and a couple oversize and high strength steel,
Yep.
and we're at 330.
Yep.
I can either uncheck all that, or I can just quickly say clear all, and I can just type in 330.
Right. Can't count total.
So it'll make sure.
Gotcha.
I didn't
Okay. So you you would basically input all the info to get your total, then clear everything you just put in, and then just manually enter in the number.
Yeah, but I think what you're asking about is maybe having the option when you email it. So here's where it's just going to show, right fender 330.
Gotcha.
Because I think what's happening is the insurance company is taking the dent total that we give them and then coming up with their own price based off of their matrix.
Yeah. But the issue I'm seeing there, Eric, that I don't like is whenever that screen you were just on, is that method in the description, it says 0 dents.
Yeah, that actually, I'm going to make a little note. It shouldn't be shown there. If you have nothing selected, it's supposed to just have nothing. It's not supposed to say 0 dents. So that's a
See, this is what happens when you come on PDR Tool Time, Eric. We make
we
you
should
better.
just do this every week just to help us find little bugs and stuff.
I'm pretty sure Daniel already bothers you enough. Heck, I bothered you today. So
Actually, I haven't bothered him in a long time. I need to bother him more.
yeah.
I've
Eric,
never called him for the record. I've never called Eric.
oh, shut up.
Shut up. Just go away.
Eric,
You're
hey man,
cowboy boots.
I know you got a really patient and loving wife waiting for you, so you guys can go have a really late dinner. Thank you so much for coming on and showing us all these new features, and we're excited. And since we know we have even more stuff coming up, we can't wait to have you on in the future. So
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me.
You guys still offer like free demo for guys out there that are new to this?
Yeah, I mean, the team's expanded quite a bit. I mean, we've got 25 employees now, and a good chunk of those are people that are handling tech support issues and offering to do free demos. So anybody that hasn't checked us out in a while, that wants to learn how to, what's new and great, or just wants to learn it for the first time, we've got people on staff that are awesome, that'll walk you through everything you'd ever want to know about using Mobile Tech RX and finding ways to improve your business.
Now, here's a question. The free trial, is there like a 1-week free trial if you are hearing about Mobile Tech RX for the first time? Is that still something y'all do, or do you have to sign up immediately?
Nope, there's still a free trial. So you can go to mobiletechrx.com and start a free trial. You get a couple weeks free, no credit card required, no commitment, no sign-up fee, no cancellation fee. You really got nothing to lose.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, if you haven't done it yet, do it, guys. See what you're missing out on.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, Eric. You have a great one, man.
Thanks, y'all. Talk to you
Thank you.
later.
Bye now.